Hello, welcome to this video. In our previous video, we saw how we created these arrays and we initialized them. This time we are going to see another way we could create arrays. Now notice that in this case the square bracket comes after the variable. We could also delete it and bring it right after the data type. So we could do the same thing here. Now when we save it and run it, you realize that it gives us the same result. Fine. Now this way of creating the array, or this convention of naming it, is so very interesting because it helps us to see or define arrays, treat them as if they are objects. For instance, if you want to create another array over here, so strange, so let's call this name is equal to new, as if it's an object. Then we have strange. Then this time we will just enter the length of the array. So this thing here is equivalent to what is here, just that with this one we have not assigned any initial values to the elements, but the computer has default, that is Java by default, assign a null value. So for instance, if I come here to print that to the screen, you will see now. But before that, let me change this to something like remarks for the purpose of our tutorial. So I'll just add and print here. So you have the tab character. I want to print the remarks. So remarks index. Good. So if I save this, then let me also print the heading at once. So we have the tab character, then we have remarks. Good. Now let me print this. So this is what we get. Good. So one beautiful thing about this way of creating an array is that we can assign value to it whilst it is running, while the program running. So let's see how we can do that by using some if statements. So I'm going to cut this. So when I come here, I have if, then a condition. So I want to give a remarks based on the grade here. So if grade, so grade index, that is an element in the grade or a mark in that array, is perhaps less than 50. Less than 50. I want you to do this for me. I want you to assign a value to this array. So remarks index should be equal to whatever I want it to do for me. So let's say fail. The student fails because it has a mark less than 50. So let me copy this again. Then let me come here. Other than that, assign this value to the student for me. Tell the student that he passed the exam. So when we run this is what we get. Isaac 45 fail, Ben 55 pass. That's good. Now we could increase the element here. So maybe I want to add more data. So at 40, let's say 45, and let's say we have 54, then we have uh, 78, then I have something like 49. Good. So I have to just change this thing here to perhaps 6 so that I can capture everything. Good. Now if that is the case, we can now also increase this length to 6. So I copy and print and paste here. So this one is Ishmael that had that mark. Then this one is Joel, and this one is Bernard. Okay, so let me now save it and print. So Java is able to do the remarks for us based on the grade of the student. Now, another interesting thing about this is that maybe we want the index, for instance, to be serial numbers. So this is a serial number. So we know serial numbers have to range from 1. So I have to come here and do something like this. Something like this. Depends on how you want to do it. Then this time when you run it, you see it starts numbering from 1 through 6 for you. Now what happens if you perhaps omitted one of these and you run this code? Oops, you get index 5 out of bounds for length at arrays. So what it means is that the index here ranges from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is only having 4. Meanwhile, we are requesting it to give her the fifth element, the fifth grade, which does not exist. So you have to bring it back for it to work. So when I run it again, it tells us the result. Thank you for joining us. In our next video, we'll see more on arrays.